Yo, how is it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lionhearts, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 things I would change for the Premier mode in CS2. Thus far, I've played 90 to 100 games of Premier mode. I've played a fair amount of regular matchmaking. I went from around 5k net rating to just crossing 10k rating very recently. And after all these games, I'm ready to sit down and talk about Premier mode as it has been released for Season 1, give my thoughts on the good, the bad, and the things I would like to change. Before we get started though, make sure you guys take a second, like the video, and comment down below. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't. It helps out massively in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you, and let's go ahead and get started with the commentary. Now, first things first, things that we are not going to be covering in this video are general Counter-Strike 2 issues like bugs, hit detection, balance. Those types of things are not unique to the Premier mode specifically, and also bugs in general are always going to get fixed, so it's not really worth going too far into detail. I will, however, add that the one most infuriating bug to me right now are the continued issues with weapon switching and grenade bugs. This weapon switch lag is getting very, very annoying, and the new grenade bug actually cost me and my team a match point last night. Let's roll the tape.
That was not the one you followed.
Ramp.
Left side.
Nope.
In front of you, yep.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
The smoke's bugged.
Hello, game?
Nope.
His
Nope.
game is fucking broken.
It won't let him throw.
What the fuck? No shot.
So yeah, that's quite annoying. But bugs, they get fixed. Valve has done like 100 updates since CS2 came out. I'm confident they'll fix this soon enough. Just wanted to go ahead and point that out. Anyway, let's get to point number 1. And that is that Premier currently has no reward structure for the end of season. There's no real reason to try and climb to the top of the ranks outside of personal fulfillment and the want to get better. Obviously, playing to get better is the predominant reason we play games, especially something as competitive as Counter-Strike, but Counter-Strike currently would be the only game that I know of with a seasonal ranked system that does not offer any kind of rewards for reaching certain ranks during the seasonal period. Obviously, Rainbow Six has it, the game that shall not be named has it, I think Apex Legends has it, Teamfight Tactics has it. I can't really think of an example where that's not the case. Now, some ideas of what Valve could do. I think they're kind of playing with house money here. Any amount of customization is kind of like whatever Valve wants to do. We could do sprays that are infinite and don't go away. You could do an exclusive run of stickers for both weapons and for agents. Make the agent patches applicable to any character, including defaults. That would be great. We could do profile badges. They could even introduce a whole new system like keychains or gun buddies to go along with this. The sky is kind of limitless. I don't see Valve doing stuff like weapon skins or agent skins, as they probably don't want to interfere with the market too much, as those items would have to be obviously non-tradable, non-marketable. But something to say, hey, I reached X rank in Premier in this season, this was my reward for it, that would be a great step and add some real reason to continue climbing to the higher and higher ranks. Point number 2. I think a seasonal ranked model is the perfect place to have a rotating or expanding map pool from season to season. Because here are the facts. We are not the pro scene. We don't need to have a set static map pool for the sake of tournaments. We are the randoms. We are the plebs. We are the 99%. We can play a wider variety of maps that change frequently and have it not be a big deal. And I think season to season, the lowest played maps should rotate out for new ones. We could bring stuff back like Cache, Season, maybe the rework to Cobble that's been rumored, Tuscan. It doesn't matter. Train, bring back maps, rotate out the least played ones, and keep the variety high. That keeps ranked fresh season to season and a lot less stale. And if you have a map that nobody likes to play, it doesn't just sit there for years, ruining the experience by just being an auto ban in everyone's game. Point number 3. The way that we gain and lose ranked points in Premier feels bad. Currently, it feels very random whether you're going to be gaining 1, 3, sometimes 500 points on a win, or whether you're going to be losing 1, 3, or even 500 on a loss. The game-to-game variance seems inconsistent. I don't know if that's because of the fact there's like hidden matchmaking algorithm going on where they're taking the skill of the individual players into account, because obviously there's a lot of clumping right now where you could take 20 different matches at 10k rating and all of those players are going to be pretty different in skill overall, meaning that each game is therefore going to be rewarding different amounts of points. I think it needs to be very clear that a win is worth X amount within a range and a loss is worth X amount within a range. What that is, I think, is very much up to Valve. They're much smarter than me in terms of what that math looks like. But in terms of what feels good to me as a player, having played a bunch of different seasonal rank systems, I feel like one win should be roughly right around 2, maybe 2.5 losses. So if you're in a position where you're winning, losing, you don't feel like you're going nowhere. You are steadily making progress. And then the thought being that if you reach a point where you're not good enough to proceed, you're going to hit a ceiling where you start losing more and more and then backsliding. Alongside that, another great change is that ties are maybe the worst feeling in Premier right now. Ties, either just both teams lose 50 points or one team gains 50, the other loses 50. That feels awful, especially if you're in a position where you just made a comeback to force overtime and then you're not able to win the match, you only tie it. That feels like you've just wasted an extra 10-15 minutes of a game for basically nothing. Ties should be a net amount of points to both teams, as that's what a tie is. A tie is both teams failed to win, but they also failed to lose. So it should be like a small net gain in points. Point number 4. Overall, I think the matchmaker thus far is actually working pretty well, but some things I would like to see tweaked is that 5 stacks need to have more of a preference to play other 5 stacks, and also on top of that, solo players need to have more preference for playing with other solo players. Obviously, a lot of games tend to get around this by having like solo duo queue as an option, but I understand that Valve may not want to go that route because it does split up matchmaking pools and that can get a little bit messy. So I think the perfect compromise is just to have some matchmaking tweaks that prioritize your party size. I most often play running 3 people, me and a couple of buddies, and I tend to play a lot more 5 stacks than I feel is comfortable for how many people we're playing with, as a 5 stack does have a huge advantage over any amount of organized team below that. Just keep in mind, if you're one of those players out there lucky enough to 5 stack constantly, you're taking a huge advantage of that coordination, and the one drawback should be you probably have to deal with longer matchmaking times because of it. But you're choosing not to deal with randoms, so that's your payoff. Likewise, if you're a solo, you shouldn't be fed to the sharks. You should be playing with other solos first. Point number 5. Woo! I saved this point for last because it's the most nebulous talking point in the history of gaming, and that's cheaters. Now, before I preface what I'm about to say, yes, there are cheaters in Counter-Strike 2. You're delusional if you think otherwise. However, I think people are equally delusional with how often they think they are dealing with cheaters. There are a lot of problems in this game that make it look like someone definitely is cheating. One, it's very hard to see people Counter-Strike, so oftentimes it looks like someone just running headshots you. It's because they stopped on a dime and you were dead before you can see it. There's also a massive peeker's advantage problem right now, which means you're not going to see people coming around the corner until you're instantly dead, especially if you're holding an angle. That feels very frustrating, feels like you just got pre-fired to hell. And 3, most of the time people don't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to someone cheating. That's just a fact. If you're someone who is like silver to gold Nova, I do not really trust your judgment on whether or not that guy is definitely aim hacking because he shot you while you were standing still. That being said, cheating is a constant and real problem, and right now there's no Overwatch, there's no real feedback if the people you're reporting are getting banned, and that needs to be taken care of immediately. Overwatch needs to come back. There's rumors that we're getting a rework VAC, and I know that this is going to be a constant, ongoing issue till the end of time. Valve are always going to be fighting cheaters. There's always going to be ban waves. So it's a problem, but it's also the unsolvable problem. It's like world hunger. If you figure out a solution, just claim your Pulitzer Prize. And that's all I have for today. Let me know your guys' biggest issues with Premiere in the comments down below. I firmly believe the system is just going to get better and better, but these are just my early thoughts after about 100 games. I wanted to put them out there, dip my toe in the water, and putting my opinion out there more and talking about the state of the game. Let me know how you're feeling about competitive, matchmaking, Premiere, state of the game in the comments down below. I'll be down there responding. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more stuff coming your way. Check me out on Twitch live every night around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where you can watch me lose my goddamn mind playing the video game Counter-Strike 2. And other than that, your viewership is more than enough for me. I will see you guys soon with another video. Peace.